Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Danita, and I am the owner and designer and operator at UndoKarma on Etsy and Cut My Canvas on Facebook and here on YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to stitch together this cute little needle book. I created a free pattern for anyone who's wanting to make one for themselves. And I wanted to do a quick little video to show you how to sew the pieces together to make this adorable little needle book. This one was gifted to me, and I attached these pins were my mother's, so yeah, I stuck them on there myself. And I just love this needle book. I have a pair of scissors that go in here, which are, let's see, right here. Unfortunately, they do fall out a lot, but I do love them being in there. Yeah, see, I think I should have glued this up. It's just hot glued in there in this middle piece. I'll put a link in the description below this video for these little scissors on Amazon as well. So let's get started. Anyways, this was gifted to me, and it gave me the great idea to create. I wanted to generate a pattern so other people can make one. And this is the first one I made. Yeah, so I started another one and I did all the pieces. So if you're following along from the pattern, my pattern that you found online, it's a free pattern, free to share anywhere. These are the pieces that you're going to cut out. So you have the front, the back, the middle, and then these are the, so if according to the pattern, you have the front, the back, the two flaps, and the middle piece. So these are the 5 pieces you'll be cutting out. And let's see, I believe these flaps are 14 holes this way and 17 holes this way, and then the front and the back are 17 by 17 holes, and the middle piece is 17 holes by 4 holes. So basically what you're going to do is sew the front, the middle, the front and the back pieces together with the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then the top of the middle and the bottom of the middle do not attach to anything. So I'm just going to do a complete whip stitch right around like that. And I am going to just pick a random color because I'm using up this little pile of scrap yarn that I've had. So I've been using them to make these. So I'm going to start with, so if this is the front, yeah, I like this one to be the front. So I'm going to flip these over. They're going to go like this. So to start off with these two, they're going to go like this, but I'm going to run this through here so that my tail is already threaded. I mean, it's already tucked in there. There we go. And then I'm going to come out this bottom corner. I'm going to move these over. I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment. Okay. So I have wrong sides facing each other. And then I'm just going to, whoops, whip stitch these two ends like so. Easy peasy, nice and easy. Almost there. All right, so there we go. And I'm going to put one more in this corner. Alright, so there we have the middle piece attached. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this one again And then I'm going to whip stitch across here. Now you don't have to. If you want to, you could wait and do all the edges. You could tie off there and jump over here if you wanted to stitch this piece a different color, because we will have to come back and stitch a little here. I'm going to do twice in this corner, and then I'm going to attach now the back. And I want to make sure I attach it in the right direction, so I'm going to put it like this so I can see, and then I'm going to fold it over. And now I'm going this way. So there we go. And I'm going to whip stitch all the way down this end. I'm putting a couple stitches in the corner. That's what I like to do to make sure it has a nice decent coverage on the corner. Alright, and we're just going to head on down. There will be a link in the description below to my Etsy shop where I sell pre-cut plastic canvas shapes and plastic canvas patterns, vintage and new ones that I design. Okay, so now I'm at the end. I'm going to put a double stitch in there, and you can open it up, and there you have your book. Whee, this one's spinning. And I'm going to go here, and I'm going to stitch this as well, just because I have a little extra yarn here. And one more in this corner. I'm going to tie this off, and I'm going to try to get it nice and tucked in under there, because this part will be a little exposed in the middle unless you hot glue a pair of scissors there like I did. Alright, I want to get a longer strand. So now we have the book, and now we're going to put the little flaps in. You don't have to have flaps. You could do a solid piece. But I like having a little pockets there. See the little pockets? This here is my little needle threader. So it's always there if I get stuck and need a little help threading my needle. So yeah, the pockets. Now on this one here, you can see she did not stitch this flap here. And it looks just fine. It makes a nice clean edge, or you can stitch the flap. So the choice is yours. You can make it your own. So let's stitch. These are going to be the inside flaps. So we're going to whip stitch these together, but I'm going to start at this corner. So the first 3 holes here, as you can see. Let me get here. First 3 holes are going to be, I'm just going to whip stitch there, and then I will whip start here, and we're going to work our way all the way around. And then if my yarn is long enough, we'll keep on going. And I think I'm going to use this purple. Too short. Here we go. Here's a nice piece I already cut. Okay, what I'm going to do is try to tuck in this thread best I can. There we go. There. So remember the first 3 holes, and I'm going to go into the corner here, into the corner. Oh, it came out. Actually, I'm going to come up here. There we go. And I'm going to start in this last hole of the middle piece. Now don't tug it too tight, because you'll pull it right out. Then I'm going to go back into the same hole again just to make this thread nice and taut so now it won't come out. Now I'm going to jump over to the next one, do 3 holes, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to add my inner flap. And there we go. And then I'm just going to keep on going all the way around. I will also put a link in the description below to my Facebook page where you can come follow along to see what I'm creating next. I also have auctions for pre-cut plastic canvas shapes. I list new auctions on Monday and they run through, and I end them on Fridays, and anyone can come and bid your own price at what you'd like to pay for those pre-cut plastic canvas shapes. And on Friday, the highest bidder is the winner. So come on down. Plus, you know, lots of other fun things. I also have a plastic canvas group at Facebook where you can buy, sell, or share anything plastic canvas related, except you cannot share patterns in the group, unfortunately. Copyright patterns, unless you are the designer. Now, if you design plastic canvas patterns and you would like to share them or sell them, feel free to join the group and sell them in the group. We're always looking for new designers to share or sell their patterns in the group. You could sell your finished pieces, you could sell your needles, your canvas, your yarn, your vintage plastic canvas books. Forgive me here for a minute. Do something. Alright, again on the corners I like to add 2 to 3 stitches. I'm here in Central Florida and it's very hot, so I have to put this fan right on me. Hopefully it's not, the sound isn't too loud. It's June in Central Florida. Very, very hot and muggy. Okay, so we're coming along here to the end. And these, as you can see, these stitch up so fast. The little design possibilities for these are endless. You could add little accessories. They would probably be great little items to make for your craft fairs. Okay, so I'm going to continue on here. And again, I'm going to go to the first hole of the middle piece. And I'm going to give it one more. Alright, and then I'm going to come and I don't have enough yarn to continue the other side, so I'm not going to. Alright, so let's get some more yarn and let's do the other side and then check out how it looks. Yeah, I just have this little glob of yarn I've been trying to use up on these little needle books. Alright, this should be long enough. Another great use for these needle books is you can use up all those little scrap pieces of yarn, little balls you have left. Alright, so the same thing, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to start in the middle like I did. It's really making my middle a little fluffy there, but it is what it is. You could also probably hand sew some fabric, some felt or something, if you're not too crazy how that looks. Alright, into the corner of the middle piece again. And one more just to make sure the yarn is nice and tight in there. Alright, over here I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 holes. Alright, so now we're going to attach our middle one and head all the way around. So I think I stitched up this entire, all the pieces. I think it took me like an hour to stitch them all up. So this is a very fast project. Great little gifts for anybody that sews with needles. It, you know, could be a tailor, somebody that sews clothes, quilts, you name it. Fabric, probably even crocheters, because they have to have a needle to thread in their ends. So yeah, anybody that uses a needle would really appreciate one of these needle books. At least I know I do. This one was gifted to me and I absolutely loved it. So that is what inspired me to create a pattern, so others can make one as well. Alright, we're coming down here near the end. These stitch up super fast. And if you have a YouTube page that you share your plastic canvas on, whether you do tutorials or just share anything plastic canvas, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to come check out your channel, possibly even share some of your videos on my Facebook page. I love to support other fellow crafters, mainly plastic canvas. Yeah, anything to keep the craft alive and going. Everybody needs a hobby, and this is a great one to have. Alright, we're down to the end now. I'm going to do the last 3 holes, and I'm going to jump over to the middle and do a double in that one and tie off. And there we have it. Now your pockets. Now you can also whip stitch this edge here and this edge here if you like I did. I think I'm going to leave this one unstitched, and then you're done. Your needles. I do recommend on the inside flaps to do the 2 to 3 hole slanted goblins. This one here, I did my little design, and the needles don't want to stay in very well, and they're a little tricky to get in and out. This one I did a little swirl, and it works just fine because it's the 3-hole goblin. And there you go. So thank you for hanging out. I hope this helps you stitch up lots and lots of little needle books. There you go. Enjoy and happy stitching.